from tee to green. This is your inside look at the 2005 Buick Championship.
And we are live at the TPC River Highlands in Cromwell, Connecticut as the sun sets on this first day of tournament play at the 2005 Buick Championship. Good evening, everyone. I'm Al Terzi.
And I'm Mark Brown, and Connecticut's premier sporting event teed off for real today for the 53rd time. And two University of Hartford graduates had their way in the early going. Here's a look at what happened in the morning. On 18, Jason Bone playing the back nine first from the fringe, little left to right break here. Sinks the birdie. He would finish at -367. Also playing the back nine first, Englishman Justin Rose. The approach on 18. Going for the flag here. Ends up in the fringe, but with a makeable opportunity. How makeable? The birdie chip. Great touch, and it goes. Rose went to -4, finished at -5. On 15, John Houston drove it to here, had a long eagle chip, and you just can't play it any better than this, to 3 inches. Tapped it in for the bird, finished the day at -3. Defending champ Woody Austin from the fringe nails the birdie on 15, goes to -1. That's where he would finish. Best threesome of the morning, Tim Petrovic's approach on the signature Serpentine 17th. Will knock this one cozy. He would birdie to go to -3. That's where he finished. Same group, Kevin Sutherland. This for the bird to go to -5 and the share of the lead. Petrovic's former U-Heart teammate Jerry Kelly hits the birdie here using a 3-iron. Broke his putter earlier. That got him to -2, and that's how he finished. Well, Michael Putnam making his professional debut at a great morning as well. He finished at 5 under par, but the round of the day came in the afternoon. Ben Curtis, the approach on 17, he was tied for the lead at 5 under. Yeah, I think this one's going to work pretty nicely. And from there, Curtis would have this for the outright lead. The 2003 British Open winner drained it to go -6. That's where he finished 64 for the day. J.L. Lewis played the backside first. He was 5 under, looking for a share of the lead. Finishing on 9 with the birdie, share of the lead at 6 under. Shot of the day, though, would come from Fairfield native J.J. Henry. Second shot on 15. He barely avoided the water. This chip for eagle. You can't play this one any better. He shot -367 for the opening round.
Haven't seen anything like that since the Shark did it on that hole a few years ago. Here's the first round leaderboard. Ben Curtis and J.L. Lewis tied at 6 under, followed by 6 golfers. Kevin Sutherland had 4 birdies on the back nine.
Some other guys at 5 under, Franklin Langham and Vaughn Taylor as well. Tanaka had played a mistake-free round until a bogey on 18. Last year's first-round leader, Corey Pavin, right in the hunt as well.
And players of note, local favorites Tim Petrovic and J.J. Henry are 3 shots off the pace, 3 under par. Last year's champ, Woody Austin, he finished with a 1 under 69 today. And Steve Elkington, one of this year's favorites, 2 over. For a complete list of all the scores, by the way, you can go to our Channel 3 website, WFSB.com, and click on the Buick Championship logo. So how did the course play today? The weather was certainly great. The numbers are very similar to what we saw last year, Mark.
They certainly were. We're joined now by Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter John Holt, who's got the players' reaction from today's first round.
Thank you, Mark. 2 golfers tied for the lead, of course, at 6 under, and 5 others just a shot back. Needless to say, it'll be a very, very competitive Friday. The story of the morning and maybe the whole day is 22-year-old Michael Putnam, who's making his pro debut thanks to a sponsor's exemption. Putnam shot 5 under to make a splash on the leaderboard, and that's a long way from Monday when the tour rookie had trouble convincing security he was a real live professional player.
Since I was so young, they didn't know if I was playing as a pro or an amateur, so they were sending me over to, not the players' parking lot. And I was asking what registration was, and they didn't really know, so it was fun, though.
And it's been even more fun today. Wearing his Patriots shirt and hat as part of his sponsorship agreement with Reebok and the NFL, 2003 British Open champ Ben Curtis stood out. His outfit and his score making him one very distinguished gentleman.
That's just been the key the last couple of months, since July 1 is, end of June has been pretty good for me. And,
right.
it's just fun to go play again. That's been the big thing.
Kevin Sutherland ended the start to his tournament with a great finish. Birdies on 4 of the final 6 holes dropped him to 5 under, and a birdie on 15 came after he just missed this eagle.
I hit the ball really well, and I gave myself a lot of good chances for birdie, and I made a few.
3 back of the leaders is the group at 3 under, including former University of Hartford standout and Newington native Tim Petrovic. who was paired with his former Hawk teammate, Jerry Kelly.
This may be the first time we've been paired together in the first 2 rounds. But, I really wasn't in his category. I wasn't in the winners category. So now that I won this year, I'm playing in the winners category with the tee times. This is the first time we've been paired together.
A couple other scores of note. Kenny Perry, 11th in the world golf rankings, is even par, and Matt Doyle from West Simsbury, 2 over. Jim St. Pierre from Shelton is the other local qualifier back on Monday, and Dan Kain will have his story in just a few minutes. Later on the special, I will speak with one of the co-leaders, Ben Curtis, and we'll find out what that Patriots outfit he had on today is all about. Guys?
All right, thanks very much, John. Mark, I used to anchor the news with a fellow named Pat Sheehan around here in Connecticut.
I remember him very well.
But we have the golf pro right here by the name of Patrick Sheehan. I understand, Patrick's your 3rd time playing in this tournament?
Yeah, 3rd year.
And, you like to start out going for the birdies right off the bat, and you didn't get what you wanted the first hole.
No, I got off to a pretty sloppy start, 3-putt in the first hole, but... when I teed off, it was pretty much the windy part of the day, so a rough start, but I made a couple birdies coming in. I mean, I'm not in great shape, but good round
you came back,
tomorrow.
you finished 2 over.
2 over. Good round tomorrow should get me right back in it because I don't see the scores getting too low this week. The course is really drying out, and it's getting hard and fast out there, so it's going to get a lot tougher.
Yeah, a little bit tricky, this course. We're going to be talking to Bobby Weed a little bit later on, and we'll find out
very much
everything
so.
that he...
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Talk about that, the course.
Well, this golf course for us is not very long, but it is very tricky in spots. When it gets firm and fast, you got to be careful not to run your balls through the fairways because all the holes turn a little bit. And hitting from the rough, you won't be able to hold many greens. So if we stay, without any rain, it's going to be very tricky.
What do you do now? You're trying to come back and do better tomorrow. Obviously you still have a good chance. But what kind of a mindset do you go into tomorrow with to do that? Were you out on the practice tee after the round today? What do you do?
Well, I didn't make too many putts today. I think the only 2 birdies I made, the putts were inside 3 feet. So I spent some time putting. But for the guys in the afternoon, the greens did get much harder and faster. And in the morning tomorrow, I'm sure they're going to put a little bit of water on. It'll be a little softer. You'll be able to get the ball a little bit closer, especially in the morning. If we get some sunshine and a little bit of wind, they get hard for the guys in the afternoon.
When I spoke with you yesterday, we talked a little bit about the success of all the guys from the University of Hartford. They actually had great rounds today. You said that any one of you guys on any day can actually come out and win a tournament. What's
Absolutely.
it going to take for you?
Well, other than the guys like Tiger and VJ that can win pretty much every week, everybody on the tour, if they can go out for 4 days and play mistake-free, and I'm not, you're going to make bogeys every week, but, there are certain times when things just happen to players and things fall into place. The moon's, everything, stars align, and everything's perfect, and guys win. And that can happen to anybody on the PGA Tour, and it could be any week. So you just kind of work your butt off and hope, this week's going to be my week.
Do you have a routine, Pat, that you go through, a mental routine as you walk up to the tee?
Every player has a routine that they.
And what is yours? What can you tell us about?
Well, I usually take a couple practice swings. Routines, though, basically involve checking your alignment, making sure you get the wind, and just making sure all the conditions are right for you to hit the shot you want, especially when you're out there. A great place to practice that is on the range.
And you do that. And, all your comrades do that hour after hour. 300 balls or so after the round.
That's
amazing.
part of it.
Another one of the University of Hartford's finest right here.
It's great. Great to have you with us, Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
and
Patrick.
good luck tomorrow on Beyond.
Thanks a lot.
All right, now a number of local players were in the competition besides Patrick, and they got into the competition by qualifying. They had a qualifier at the Lyman Orchards Golf Club in Middlefield on Monday, and one of the people got in there because with the help of some friends who put up the money for him. He wasn't too anxious to spend the money, as we understand it. Jim St. Pierre, he's from Shelton. He's the assistant pro at Woodbridge, and Eyewitness News reporter Dan Kain followed him today and his followers, and he joins us now from the putting green with more on that. Dan?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Al, he had a lot of followers. He had one of the biggest crowds out here today. He's tried to qualify in the past 4 or 5, 6 times the last couple of years, and it's never quite worked for him, and he wasn't even going to give it a shot this year until, as you say, a couple of friends who had a lot of faith in him put up a certain amount of money for him and got him in the game.
He said, I'm not playing that good. It's $400. I don't want to blow $400 on it. So myself and another member, Ed Crowley, said, we'll put up the money for you.
St. Pierre, who is the assistant pro at Woodbridge Country Club, qualified by finishing first on Monday at Lyman Orchards out of a field of 101. Today he had one of the larger crowds following his progress on the course.
That was great. I was warned beforehand that they would all be here, so. But then, no, that was great to have everybody around and, cheering, even on my bad shots.
What's his state of mind?
He's nervous, but he's excited.
A mom can tell, right?
Definitely.
And what about Dad? What do we think about all this?
Oh, I'm pretty proud of him. Yeah, definitely. No question about it.
Did you figure he had a shot?
To qualify? Oh, absolutely. Well, I've seen him play. I've seen him go really low. He has the course record in a couple courses in Connecticut. He's a great player.
Jim started off strong today, but ran into a bit of trouble, finishing 7 over for the day.
A lot of pressure out there?
To be honest with you, I didn't feel any. I mean, you sit there and you say to yourself, what realistically do people expect me to do? So you hit a couple bad shots here and there, and so what?
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, I wasn't as nervous as I thought I would be standing on the first tee and throughout the whole round.
He'll should break out of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he should do very well.
Was this the dad talking or the fan talking?
The dad and the fan.
And at the end of play tomorrow, the field is cut to 70 if he makes the cut, but he's going to have to hustle to make it. But if he makes it, he'll earn himself a minimum of $8,000 for his efforts this week. So let's hope the world's turning his way. Right, folks?
That's a wonderful thought. $8,000 at least, huh?
Yeah,
Hope he
I
does
like
it. Thanks, Dan.
Sure.
All right, coming up next, our continued look at the charities that benefit the Buick Championship, including a group of teenagers that has them helping each other to understand difficult issues.
And next, joining us live, the man behind this course at the Tournament Players Club in River Highlands in Cromwell, the designer of the course, Bobby Weed, in a moment on Inside the
You're
Buick
watching a
Championship.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News special presentation, Inside the Buick Championship. You're watching a Channel 3 Eyewitness News special presentation, Inside the Buick Championship, sponsored in part by your local Buick dealer.
And we want to welcome you back to the Buick Championship here in Cromwell, Connecticut. We're at the TPC River Highlands. It's one of 11 Tournament Players Club courses on this year's PGA Tour schedule. You know, this Cromwell course dates all the way back to 1928 when people knew it as the Edgewood Country Club.
That's right. It was originally designed by Robert Ross. He's the cousin of the acclaimed Scottish course architect, and that, of course, Donald Ross. Redesigned 3 times since then. And our next guest is the guy who redesigned it last back in 1991. Everybody, we want you to meet Bobby Weed. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Bobby, thanks for coming in. You've worked on a lot of courses, obviously. What are you most proud of here? What gives you the biggest kick about what you've done with this course?
Well, the fact that the work that we did 15 years ago is still pretty much intact. The golf course has not changed much at all. So with all the technological advancements, the golf course is still challenging to the players.
Does it favor any particular kind of player, this course?
Well, I think that shows up in the caliber of winners that you've had over the years. You've got guys that are real shot makers that have played well here. You've got guys that have a lot of length that have played here and won. So I'm not so sure it favors any particular style of play, although I think you have to be a little more creative around some of the greens. I think you'll get in some situations where there's some indecision and you have to get it up and down. And obviously taking away 2 of the par 5s, making it a par 70 collectively could, reduce it by 8 shots over the course of the 4 days. Those guys really like to pick up shots on the par 5s, and they typically do. With only 2 chances here, they're certainly walking to the next tee if they don't birdie that hole.
Not feeling too good.
Not feeling real good about it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they have a couple of short holes that they think they're going to jump on, and sometimes they can go the other way. So I've enjoyed watching the golf course mature over the years. It's in great condition. You've had a very difficult summer up here in the Northeast, and I think the course is going to fare very well for the weekend.
I talked to Lee Westwood today. He's playing the course for the first time. Shot -1.
Mm-hmm.
He was not really sure what to do out here on the course. Figured he's got to play it a lot of times. He called it tricky. What does that say to you?
Well, I'm not so sure it's tricky. The golf course fits the ground up here like a lot of great courses in New England. I do take that as a compliment when someone can't figure it out the first few times. I think that's good. I don't think a golf course should uncover itself and expose itself to a player on the first couple trips around. I think the more you play, the more comfortable you get. There's some holes holes where you can step on the gas, and there's a few holes where you need to let off the gas. But all in all, you have to keep both hands on the wheel getting around out here. And I think that's good because this is a golf course that you can't overpower with physical ability. I'd like to think that it has a good mix of the physical aspects of a player and the mental agility, because you do have to think your way around a little bit. You just can't power the ball around here because you'll run out of room.
Still a test after 15 years. That's saying something. Great job.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Bobby, for coming in here. The designer of the TPC. Isn't this great? Hey, whoever wins this Buick Championship is going to take home a hefty paycheck. What is it, $774,000
Yeah, it's
or
a
something?
big number like that, out of $4.3 million overall.
When you think about how it started out, what were they winning? Lee Trevino won $25,000 or something. The real winners, of course, though, at this tournament are the charities. They've received $24 million from the Greater Hartford JC since the tournament began back in 1952 as the Insurance City Open. One of the recipients, the Connecticut Youth Forum, is a group that teaches teenagers the importance of speaking out. You're going to watch this.
They're like, you know, they would have that misconception in their mind.
I'm just realizing now more than ever that it's happening more and more.
Stereotypes are bad. Some of them are true, but they're still bad.
Stereotypes is just one of the many topics teens discuss openly at the Connecticut Youth Forum. Founded in 1992, it brings together about 250 young people from across the state each month. They meet in various schools to discuss issues important to them.
It's all about youth. It's youth ideas, youth-driven. And
16-year-old Joseph Wilkerson has been a member for 2 years. He says only by talking about their concerns can teens really understand each other.
It opens up our eyes and it makes us, it helps us to realize and understand what youth our age are experiencing.
17-year-old Troy Beddick learned a lot just by listening.
You don't even have to be talking about anything, and all of a sudden things will start going off in your head. This is how I feel, this is what I should be feeling.
Both say the Youth Forum teaches them lessons they can use for the rest of their lives.
Is that we all may not agree with one another, and that that happens with everybody. But the thing about it is that when we leave the meeting, we are all on one accord.
It opens up doors for people. It shows them, it brings them places that they never would have been brought in before.
The Youth Forum, a great resource. Thanks to you for supporting the Buick Championship and the JCs. Once a year, they hold a student exchange where they have an open discussion that goes on for 12 hours. Learn a lot about each other.
Next to the caddy, the golfer's other best friend, maybe the meteorologist, coming up, predicting the weather for the players.
You're watching a Channel 3 Eyewitness News special presentation. Inside the Buick Championship. Sponsored by your Connecticut Toyota dealer.
Welcome back to Inside the Buick Championship. We're joined by Ben Curtis, who shot a 6-under today. You must have felt really good out there.
Yeah, I did. Got off to the best of starts, birdied the first 2 holes and, 3 under through 5, and just felt like I could, go out there and shoot a pretty good number. Obviously, I like the golf course. It, it sets up well for me. It's not real long, and it's, a lot of precision out there. So it's just a fun course to play, and, obviously, if you hit it well, you're going to give yourself some opportunities.
I think you're gaining some fans today. A couple of years ago, you had just won the British Open. You were unable to come here to play in Cromwell. You're back this year. Has anybody reminded you of that this week? Are you kind of winning people over, or are they forgotten?
A few people have said something, but obviously most fans they've been great, and it's a great place. And unfortunately, I couldn't come 2 years ago, and it's just one of those places you never, I've always seen it on TV and always thought it's a great place, and now that I'm here, it just enhances it.
You've won a major, so you know what excitement's all about, but you seem so calm. When do you get excited about being close to the top or at the top of the leaderboard?
Well, inside, you're excited and pumped and ready to go. I wish I could go back out and play again, but right now. But it's just one of those things that, I'm pretty calm, just, from the way I grew up, and I've always been that way, so just try to keep everything low-key.
And you're wearing the Patriots apparel today with your agreement through Reebok and the NFL, but you're going to switch over to the Giants on Friday?
Yeah, I'm going to wear Giants tomorrow. Just switch it up a little bit, have some fun, and then wear the Pats on the weekend.
Well, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
They are the 3-time Super Bowl champs the last 4 years. Ben, congratulations, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Ben Curtis, a lot to smile about there.
Oh, absolutely. He's got a British Open. Now he might win the Buick Championship.
Could happen. We'll have more in a moment.
You're watching a Channel 3 Eyewitness News special presentation. Inside the Buick Championship. Sponsored in part by your Connecticut Mitsubishi dealer.
Well, look ahead to tomorrow's second round tee times. Locals Tim Petrovic, Jerry Kelly, along with one of the leaders from the first round, Kevin Sutherland, begin play at the 10th tee at 12:50. First round co-leader Ben Curtis will have an early start. So will two of the bigger names, Fred Funk and Steve Elkington. They're looking to improve on today's action. Vaughn Taylor and co-leader J.L. Lewis, part of the same threesome. And local favorite J.J. Henry tees off at 8:20. For a complete list of all of the tee times, log on to our Channel 3 website, WFSB.com, and click on the Buick Championship icon.
Should mention defending champ Woody Austin finished with minus 169 today.
He did. He actually had an interesting time on 15. He hit it into a bee's nest, almost out of bounds, got a free drop, ended up birdie in the hole. How about that?
Was that like, didn't Mickelson go into a trash barrel once?
Yeah, he did. It's amazing where you can pull birdie
bee's
from.
nest, trash barrels. All right, we got it all here at Inside the Buick Championship. And we'll have the second round highlights for you and the reaction to the play. We'll find out who makes the cut to head into the weekend for that big prize tomorrow. Don't forget to join us at 7 o'clock for that. I'm Al Terzi.
And I'm Mark Brown. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching Inside the Buick Championship. For more information, log on to WFSB.com. This has been a Channel 3 Eyewitness News special presentation.